guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you guys how you can start a sinking fund. I get this question asked a lot, asking how do I start a sinking fund, a cash envelope. So I decided to share with you guys what I do to get started with the sinking fund. Since Christmas is like 3 months away, the majority of my examples that I'll be sharing with you guys is going to be around Christmas. That way you guys can kind of get an idea, since it's one of the biggest holidays and one of my biggest sinking funds that I currently have, just because Christmas is important and it's a huge holiday and people tend to overspend, or when it comes to Christmas they don't have that money they need to spend, and so that's when the majority of people start swiping and using credit cards to pay for Christmas. So that's where my tips are gonna, mostly all my examples from my tips are going to come from. So I'm going to use stickers, just because I mentioned before I have a lot of sticker books, so I am going to be using stickers. That way you can see my title page. That way I can start getting rid of some of these stickers. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do is I like to decide what my budget is going to be. With this amount, I also include everything. So for example, for Christmas, not only do I include Christmas presents from my family and loved ones, I also include Christmas dinner, baking goods. Since I like to bake around the holidays, I like to include that. That way I take care of neighbors, you know, those gifts that are baking goods, and it's good. What else? If you're traveling, you might want to include gas money. It just all depends on what your budget is set and what you are going to include, but make sure that you include everything. I also, for Christmas, I like to set a certain amount, mostly around $20 or $40 for unbudgeted items, because we're all human and we all forget certain things or forget to buy a gift around the holidays. So I have that set amount, roughly around $20. So make sure you budget for everything that you need for that. And the earlier that you budget for it, the more time that you have to save money. So for example, for Christmas, I like to know my budget at the beginning of the year, or at least a week after Christmas. That way I can start budgeting, start calculating everything, and then have a set budget for. So the earlier you know, the better. So I'm gonna put here, decide what your budget is and include everything. Okay. You're going to include everything, and then make sure you know earlier. I'm just going to write. Okay, so the next step that I like to do is, okay, so once I have my budget, the next thing I like to do is divide that amount that I set for that budget and divide that by how many paychecks I have left. Okay, so by doing that, that will give you the amount of money that you need to set aside every paycheck. Now, you may want to do it differently. Some people do it monthly, so they just they divide the budget amount by how many months they have left, but I like to do paychecks. That way I know every paycheck how much money I need to set aside for that certain sinking fund. So for example, let's say Christmas. Since Christmas is just, so let's just say Christmas. Since Christmas is just like in 3 months, let's just say we have, our budget is $500, okay? And I want to have that $500 by December 1st. Okay. So my husband gets paid 2 times a month, and so do I. So that's 4 checks, and that's 4 checks every month. So I have October and November. So I have 2 months. And in those 2 months I have a total of 8 paychecks between my husband and I. So that's a total of 4 paychecks each month. It equals up to 8. So what I'm gonna do, just to show you, is I'm gonna do 500. That's how much my budget is, and I'm gonna divide that by 8 paychecks. So that gives me a total of $62.50. So that is telling me that I need to put $62.50 aside each paycheck so that I will have $500 by December 1st. So with that case, I like to round up. So I will do $63. So that would do $63 each paycheck. Divide budget amount by paychecks, okay? But for this third step, you are gonna break down your budget, okay? So I break down the budget. What I mean by is you're gonna, let's say for Christmas, for example, Christmas, let's just say we have a budget of $1,000, okay? $1,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down that $1,000 and put it in subcategories that I will need. So for example, I have my son, my daughter, and my younger son. To me, these are important. So let's just say that I'm going to do $200 each for each kid. So that gives me $600 just for my kids. So that leaves me with $400 left. And so let's just say Christmas dinner. Spelled it wrong. Dinner, let's just say 150. And then let's say grandparents. So this is the part where you're going to break down every category, and then you're going to give them each a dollar amount to spend. So then you're going to start breaking down. So what I like to do is once I'm buying, let's say I buy my daughter $50 pants or something, then I would subtract that, and then it'll be like total 150. I will keep track of my spending in my Christmas sheet list. So it would be like, I would write my daughter's name, Mia, and then it'll be like Christmas, and then say $200. And so then I would just write pants or jeans, whatever, and then minus $50. I would track that in a separate sinking fund. That way I know how much money she has in that budget. With that being said, I hope you are aware that what I shared with you is good for any sinking fund that you want to create. The first 2 tips are for any sinking fund that you want to create. The third one, it just depends on how big your sinking fund is, and that mostly I do that for Christmas or like a vacation. But overall, these 3 tips can help you start a sinking fund and help you along the way. But if you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow me in this journey, and I will see you next time. Bye.